Hey everybody, I'm Lena and I transitioned back in 2013 and I wanted to talk about a few regrets that I have. Well, actually, a lot of regrets that I have in doing so. And this all stemmed from a post that I wrote back in, well, not too long ago, a few days ago. And I was talking about things that had taken place in my life from the moment I decided to transition to the current day and my experiences. So I'll just read and ad lib a little bit as it goes. In late 2013, I made the decision to sacrifice my role, the role that I was given by God from ever since I can remember, to be a dad and a husband for the sake of what I, at one time, thought to be a higher purpose, to finally live what I had determined to be my own authentic life. It's funny that we use the word I a lot in the trans community. I need, I want, I have to have, I choose to be. You get the picture. What is not more authentic, truly, than being given the precious gift of being entrusted by God with tiny little human lives of priceless value? What higher purpose, what loftier thing was I supposed to find for my life? What greater purpose of meaning was I supposed to discover in traveling down the path of no return? Had I lost something that I had to turn my world literally upside down in order to find? Didn't I have everything I could ever have hoped to have in this life? It's crazy because I did have it all. I had my faith, I had my mom and my sister, I had my incredibly gracious wife, and the love of 5 beautiful, incredible children. Not to mention my in-laws and my relatives from the other side of the family. I had favor. I had achieved many things in my career, and I had recently even started my own company and had lots of clients who loved my work. I had the favor of both my family and my friends. My creative list of clients that I had worked with were many, and they had literally allowed me to travel around the world working for them. I was at a place in my life where I could literally get a call from any one of these clients and I would be off on a jet to a foreign country in a moment's notice. It was that kind of life. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed what I did. I worked in television production, and it's never a boring time because there's always something new happening. There's always some new event taking place or something like that. God had so blessed me and my family, and we had been allowed the blessing and the ability financially to be able to homeschool. And even when that wasn't as accepted and preferred as it is now, I am so grateful that my kids were able to experience it, because the 2 oldest, both my son and my daughter, they both graduated from the same prestigious and well-renowned Christian university in the past 2 years, my daughter the most recent. The thing is that my authentic life, this new me that I discovered, well, that didn't allow me to see either of them get their diploma. Let me share with you one other not so minor thing that me living my authentic life kept me from. My oldest son, he married his college sweetheart in the summer of 2020. And instead of me being a part of his life, I was only able to watch it as a commoner, anybody that would ever just log into Facebook a week later on social media, because I had no idea that he had even gotten married. I barely had found out that he had gotten engaged. He didn't call me to say, "Hey Dad, I am so excited. My fiance and I'm like, nothing. I'd never heard anything, because my son and I, although I used to travel with him, take him to NBA games with me and do events and things, and television. He even worked alongside me. He used to be my utility. He literally, we don't have a relationship anymore. We don't have a connection. So what kind of life is this, really? What is remotely authentic about it? It's just like, it makes no sense now, but it's too late, You see, that's the thing that people don't tell you, is that you lose, and you lose a lot. They tell you, "Oh, hon, they'll come around eventually when they get a chance to see the real you," right? The thing is that they thought that they did see the real me. They lived with me for, all their life. And it's been almost 10 years, and I'm still waiting. But at this point, I may wait for my entire life to ever even hold or hug any of them. My oldest is in his mid-20s, and my youngest is now going to turn 13. And he was only a 4-year-old when I left. Here's the truth, though. The truth, and you probably think that I should do something about it. And I get that. Believe me, I understand your line of thought. You think, just detransition, present to them what they need in their life, give them their dad back, and it's a problem. It's just not that simple. Because years of transition, it takes a toll on your psyche. Years of cross-sex hormones alter your body and your mind. Your perception of life is changed in ways that, unless you have journeyed this way, and I highly, and do I want to emphasize, highly recommend that you never do such a thing. You just can't possibly understand. So yeah, what about that authentic life that I went off to discover? Well, I want to let you all know that after this journey, I never did find it. I never found what I was looking for. I know what Esau felt like when he gave up his inheritance for some random bowl of soup to a scheming younger brother. Those of you who are acquainted with that story in the Bible with Jacob and Esau would understand. I know that what it feels like to sell Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. I know what it means to look in the eyes of God, the Son of God, and have him tell you to sell it all and you just look at him and you turn away because you want to follow your own dreams, your own hopes, and in the case of a trans person, your own authentic life. I know. Believe me, I know. I will have to cling to Jesus alone for his grace to be shed on my life to ever attain his mercy for all of the selfish decisions that I have made for my life. I did what I thought, and again, understand how many times I'm saying I, you'll get a picture of the depravity of our narcissistic and selfish, self-absorbed, self-consumed, me mentality about all of this. I literally believed that my actions and choices were justified because it was the way that God had made me. I mean, that's what I was led to believe. Others confirmed and affirmed me as much as they could. God made me trans, Mom. God made me trans, to my sister when she asked. God made me trans, kids. And also to my poor wife who never saw it coming for so many years. Hey, everyone who knew me before, I'm okay. God did this to me. See how easy it is to justify everything because we think that we are self-preserving ourselves, that we are actually being honest with ourselves, that we're actually being authentically open about who we are. There's a lot of talk made about the feminine soul, the female soul within. And it's just not true. I mean, you are who you are. And you may have a personality that is not as masculine or not as feminine or whatever, but it really isn't about you having a feminine spirit because spirits aren't gendered. The thing is that God didn't make me this way. I did it. I created myself in the image that pleased me. Now what? There really is no place else to go. This is a one-way ticket to nowhere that makes meaningless everything that once gave you purpose. And if you are wrestling with gender identity issues, it's really okay to wrestle. Get help though, not a bunch of fans. Don't go looking online. Don't waste your time looking up videos that promote what you want to see yourself do in the future. It's easy to get affirmed that way. There are literally thousands of videos that are going to encourage you to do things that you may very likely regret. If you're wrestling with gender identity issues, you can entrust your feelings, your traumas, your hurts, your failures, your struggles, your battles to someone who you trust. Not just some random person, but someone that you can confide in and that you know you will get honest answers from. A person who's not biased, but who will deliver it to you straight not an enabler. We have so many of those. But if you really want to do something about your feelings and the things that you're going through, I would encourage you to fall on Jesus, because that's the best place to go, because God knows you more and better than you even know yourself. If you want to start and end there, that's perfect. But realize that if you go to a gender therapy person, a gender therapist, just understand that they're just going to find ways to justify your desire to want to be there and to be trans. They have an investment. They have a motivation. And they're there not for your benefit. Many of them are there for other benefits, and they work for others. If you're a parent of a trans gender questioning child, love them, but don't pacify every whim of your little one. Giving in to the current gender ideology du jour is the trendiest thing to do these days. I mean, trans is like the in thing. It's the new goth of the 80s or something, right? There is a serious epidemic, though, and a contagion that has fallen over our youngest generation, and they are the most vulnerable. Count down from the age of 12 down, and you will find the most vulnerable. It is staggering how many kids are now identifying as LGBTQI. The current trends point to the fact that even the younger ones, the 12 and unders that I was mentioning, they're going to be even more affected by gender than the previous one. And the previous one, some say that over 25% of Gen Y is actually identifying in the LGBTQI. Rapid onset dysphoria is not, it's not some concocted term. The amount of kids presenting as trans, not only now, just the parents, that's what was before. It wasn't a kid thing. It was just a older person, older adult thing. But now even parents and their kids are now becoming trans, like within years of each other. The parent transitions and then the child transitions with them later. It's crazy, you guys. It's out of control. We are now on the verge of a tidal wave of detransition men and detransition women, boys and girls, teens, that will overwhelm even the current amount of detransitioners. Just as their detransition sisters did in the past several years now, detrans men and boys are finally rising up and speaking out after enduring broken bodies, loss of body parts, a surge of autoimmune disease, mental impairments. How did we get here? I mean, how did any of us allow this? I thought I was rare. I thought this was rare. I'm not, though. I'm not rare at all. I am just one of many who bought into this lie of self-realization. Think about it. Self-realization. Creating myself in my own image. doing things to myself that would allow me to assume a different person than what God had intended for me to be. And in that, I lose the purpose for why I even exist, because I lose my, again, authenticity of being. There's nothing authentic about me now. There's nothing purposefully authentic that I can do, because I literally have castrated myself. I literally don't know what it's like to feel the sex reality of my body. I have no idea of what the future holds for me because of what I've done to my body. I mean, I underwent surgical procedures, I had things done to me, and I now have to live with the consequences of the things that I've done. And the thing is that there's no testing, there's no follow-up, there's no help for any person like me. We just kind of get forgotten. And I wonder if that's not part of it. I urge you to think twice if you feel differently. Honestly, I felt differently about everything about this for a very long time, and I was on the train of trans ideology for a long time. But when I realized that I have subjected myself to a lifetime of blindly searching the web for information of my children, even the smallest little hint of update, I realized that it's simply not worth it. Trust me, there is a better way.